بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد. So this is hadith number 88. Increased blessing and provisions and life. And the increase, of course, that we're going to see here is talking about the increase in barakah, and Allah knows best. All right, it's not the actual increase in the actual lifespan of the person, but the increase in the barakah for the lifespan of the person. All right, so we have an Anas radiallahu anhu anna Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam qala man ahabba an yubsata lahu fi rizqihi wa yunsa'a lahu fi atharihi falyasil rahimahu muttafaqun alayh. Are you looking at me so strange?
We haven't done the tradition.
What?
Stand up.
All right, did you memorize it? Stand up. Speak before I start reading, man.
Even yesterday, the same. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال جاء رجل إلى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فقال من أحق الناس بصحابتي قال
بحسن صحابتي
قال أمك قال ثم من قال أمك قال ثم من قال أمك قال ثم من قال أبوك متفق عليه.
All right. You got it?
First time I made a mistake in the hadith in a long time.
عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه عن النبي.
أنا no قال
رسول الله
جاء رجل من
النبي
إلى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم
إلى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فقال
من أحق الناس بحسن صحابتي
قال أمك ثم
قال ثم من
قال أمك ثم فقال ثم من قال أمك فقال ثم من قال أبوك متفق عليه.
He's like pretending like he's invisible, that's all. All right, so in this hadith, and Anas radiallahu anhu, he said that the Messenger of Allah, anna Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Man ahabba an yubsata lahu fi rizqihi." So whoever wishes and loves that he yubsata lahu fi rizqihi, yubsata what? Is that his provisions are plentiful and enough, and more than sufficient for him. And because basata, it means to what? To spread out, to be just spread out and and plentiful. So he said, whoever loves this, and yubsata lahu fi rizqihi, so all of his provisions. And of course, the most important provision of all is what? Taqwa. Well, khayr zadi what? Yeah, taqwa. The best of all zad, the best of all that you can prepare for is what? With taqwa. So that's the best provision. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opens that up and opens up your heart to Islam. That's better than anything that He could give you from the dunya. And He said, وَيُنْسَأَ لَهُ فِي أَثَرِهِ. Yunsa'a, it comes from the verb ansa'a, which means you say like ansa'a anhu, I mean either تأخرت عنه وتباعدت عنه. تأخرت عنه وتباعدت عنه قد أنسأت عنه. So here what it means is like you ba'ad what? The ajal. It becomes what? You ba'ad anhu ajalahu. That is his time for death is made further away from him. All right, but you say like for example when you say that ansa Allahu ajalahu, either akharahu. All right, so this is the word ansa, but here like again the same thing with the inbisat, with the bast al-rizq, with the opening up of the provisions and the increase of life, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increases the barakah of the person's life. So in a smaller, maybe he lives, obviously his lifespan is already written. And we know this from what hadith? And what's the specific part of this hadith where he said that? ثم يرسل إليه الملك فيؤمر بأربع كلمات بكتب رزقه وإيش؟ Yeah, so these four things are already written, and from amongst those things that are written are his rizq, his provisions, and his time of death, so his lifespan. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will increase it by increasing the barakah. Look at Imam al-Nawawi, rahimahullah, and look at the amount that he was able to do in such a short lifespan. Look at Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, even though he lived a little bit longer, he lived quite a bit longer, But, you know, he was in prison for a long portion of time and went through all the fitna. But look at what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put, you know, the barakah that he put in his life and what he was able to do in the time that he was free. And then look at somebody like Al-Hafidh Al-Hakami, rahimahullah, and look what he was able to do in such a short lifespan. And Al-Hafidh Al-Hakami is closer to our time. He's very close to our time. So, I mean, and look what he was able to do. Look at the mandumat of Aqidah that he wrote, and he explained his manduma, and he explained it in Ma'arij al-Qabul, which is a huge book like that big. He's got explanations of Soul al-Fiqh, and, you know, and look at the life. And what did he live? And I think, if I'm not mistaken, he died in his 30s. So, I mean, if you look at, like, you know, subhanAllah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put barakah, put blessing in their life. So even though their lifespan didn't change, but what he was able to achieve and do in his life. But then we look at the people today and how long they live. You know, look at it. They live 80 years, 90 years and achieve what?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Nothing that's going to benefit him. Nothing that he's going to take with him after his death. Nothing. In 80, 90 years on this earth, he's going to take nothing with him. So, yeah, so, I mean, he's going to take nothing but adab. You know, just like me and my son, we were outside exercising this morning, and a janazah came by. You know, it started passing by. You know, and what did I tell you? I said, could you imagine what that person? Because, you know, they're playing music. You know, you can see from the people driving by that are following the janazah. You can see it's not a janazah, it's a funeral procession, but you can see the types of people that are going to bury this guy or this girl or whoever. You know, and I said, people playing music and all these fools. I said, could you imagine? Like, looking, you know, this person inside of that hearse, inside of that box, talking about, ya waylaha, ayna tathabuna biha, you know, because we know that the two people that get carried on the janazah, you know, there are two types of people, you know. The one person who is going to the blessings of Allah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prepared for him. And what does he say to the people carrying him? Qaddimuni, hurry up, get me to the grave. You know, get me in there, get me buried so I can start getting the blessings. But the other person that's going to the punishment of Allah, you know, he'll say to the people, Ya waylaha, ayna tathabuna biha. Oh, woe to you, where are you taking me? You know, where are you taking me? No, take me, you know, don't take me there, you know, because they don't want to go to that punishment. And so imagine 80 years of your life on this earth, and this is what you're going to. This is what you've given. This is what you've got. So, I mean, because we don't know how long we have, you know, to live. We don't know how long we have left. But, I mean, we can also look at our lives and look at what we've achieved and what we've done and know if the barakah has not been in this. And we see and hear, what did the Prophet ﷺ say? If the person wants this, he wants this barakah, he wants the barakah in his provisions, he wants the barakah in his umr, in his age, in his life, then what? فَلْيَصِلْ رَحِمَهُ. Then he should maintain the ties and keep connected the ties of kinship with his family. Keep the ties with his family. Even if they choose to cut you off, you continue to, you know, make those ties. I used to always tell my son, whenever we're going through problems, I don't know, did I tell you or who? But I would always say, man, I haven't called my mother in, you know, a month now. That's why we're having all the problems we're having. You know, because we start having financial problems, we start having all this, and I say, man, subhanAllah, this is probably because I haven't talked to my mother. You know, and then I call my mother and I keep contact with my mother, keep the connections with my mother, and then what? Everything starts to kind of like ease out and open back up. So it's serious. Okay, this is real, you know. So if we want that barakah, we want that good life, we have to keep the connections with the people.
You told me that before too. About your mom. You told me that one time.
Yeah, if I don't talk to her, okay, if it's too long, and where she sends me a message and she says, what's going on? Where are you at? And I know why my life's messed up. You know, I know why we're having financial difficulties and all these types of things, man. This is serious. Well, that in a sense. But that is a sin. اللهم صل وإلهنا سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك